like shadow covers him, and like we know he's there. I'm thinking of something. He was not out of her apartment as long as he could have claimed.
Drinking?
Drank.
She will find out his research on his sister. She'll think that it's his murder board.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, we're recording.
Hello!
I'm X.
And I am Z, and we are two generations that are actually getting together and having a good time, and this time we're working on our short film, so we are now at the storyboard stage.
Yeah, last time we worked on treatment, and it's still in rough form. My OCD is nagging me to get it formatted right, but in order to move ahead, it'd be good to get some shot ideas down, some camera movements, so we are working on that today.
I had some earlier on my tablet.
You did, yes.
That's upstairs.
Why did you leave it up there?
Forgot.
Okay.
I mean, I can still go get that.
Okay. We're going to pause this while she go gets that. We're kind of fuzzy.
It'll
Slowly
focus.
going into focus. Oh, there we are.
There we are. Okay. I have this thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're close to the camera.
Okay. So I got some storyboards here. We are going to be incorporating these or variations of these into the film.
Yes.
We're not too precious about showing this because we want you to be involved. We want you to see the whole development of it until it's actually shot.
And maybe people will come back after it's already done and just be like, wonder how they did that. So, this is how we did that.
All right. Well, I was talking with a young lady that I would like to be the main star.
That's an update, by the way.
Oh,
We have
that's right.
a person who might actually want to,
A live human being.
yes, that wants to be a part of our film. And since we can't really pay anyone right now, it's really nice that she wants to help
Yes.
out. So
And her availability is limited. We got to do it in the time frame that she's here.
kick
So,
our own butts.
Yeah, so that's good. That gives me a goal.
Incentive.
Incentive. Yes. Incentive. I already have the goal. I just need the incentive. Like what I told her is, we would obviously be shooting this out of sequence and the more manageable shots to do because you don't need that much of a crew or locations or anything is shots of her doing her video blog or vlog.
It's a vlog.
But she would be looking up true crime websites and information and things like that. But it would also be the laptop screen is a mirror, and we're looking through the screen at her.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that done before, yeah.
We won't do that too extensively because it requires graphic overlays, and we're going to have to...
I don't know if we'd use that very often anyway.
Yeah.
Because we'd probably just want to show her, like, being isolated mostly. And, like, we get a general sense of what she's into because of what she's looking up, but I don't think we're gonna...
Well, that's true. Maybe we should have just one
shot
with the graphic overlay so that
Yeah.
we get that
Yeah.
and her reactions to it. This young lady, she's not really going for being an actress, which I kind of like. I want her to be more natural. She's interested in true crime stories already.
Yeah, you did say that.
And
That's
she's got pretty amazing eyes. And I think that...
more expressive, you know.
well, it's the... what's that old saying? The eyes are the windows to the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just want someone who really is, well, basically acting with their eyes because we're seeing how she's reacting, what her emotional state is between all of this.
So it's all her perspective.
Yeah.
And luckily we found someone that's like that. So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
All right, so I thought we would go through the first part of this. I have the treatment up. Essentially, we're establishing her routine. She is alone in the apartment and she's looking stuff up on the laptop. She might have it on her desk first, and then she might get tired of sitting there and she wants to go on her bed and...
The idea that I had originally was that, like, she's doing her work and her school work at her desk, and then she's doing her personal fun research on her bed. To, like, have some differentiation between what's what.
Okay, so I guess I'll make our first square here.
Now, question. Are we doing the same scene but what we personally see? Or are we just doing different scenes depending on who's working on what?
Well, I'll tell you my idea for it, and
Great.
then maybe you can give your feedback on it. I appreciate your way of popping ideas out like popcorn. And they come less to me, but once I'm grounded in what we're doing, then I feel more free to explore ideas. But I need something to ground me, or else I just go insane. Like it's a very simple shot.
What shot are we talking about? This is...
It's her routine and introduction. Let's go from the known to the unknown, because it kind of helps me.
Right.
So I just want to get it down on paper. So it would essentially be, this framing, because she's typing and all that, and, she would just be looking and scanning and stuff like that. And it would just be a close-up as if the camera is looking through the back of the laptop.
Yeah.
And, but it would be translucent. It would be, it'd be see-through. There's a page there. When we do the vlog, it'll pretty much just be some, like a little record graphic on it.
From her laptop.
So that we know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So I will just do a very simple, terrible drawing of the actress, and we'll go from there. So.
Should I be drawing the same thing?
No, you can look at mine. It's the world's most amazing drawing. It looks like a real person.
She looks like her name's Bertha.
It's not her name. That was just so uncalled for. She's very sweet, and
I'm not talking about the actress.
So we'll show you.
Just remember I can actually put it up on screen later.
Yeah, I know. That's easy. So this will be research shot. Close up through screen. All right. So when she's doing her vlog, it will be less analytical and more subjective. So she's
probably casual.
Yeah, she's lying down on her bed with her back to the wall. Is that it?
I was thinking she was sitting crisscross applesauce. It's kind of an awkward angle, kind of low, because she's got her laptop on her bed, and it's like what an actual casual vlogger would be doing.
Okay, so how do you see that frame?
So she's
You're a better artist than I am. That's not fair.
So she'd be like sitting crisscross applesauce. Maybe you can see her bed frame back here. You can see her bed. You can like vaguely see her window over here. It's all like an undershot. So
an undershot? You mean a lower camera angle? The camera's placed lower.
The camera is placed lower because her laptop is on her bed and it would be facing upward toward her.
Okay.
So
it's from the point of view of the laptop, as if the laptop's a character looking at her. Like that's the.
Well, it is literally a laptop recording. Like I was planning that we would actually be using like an actual laptop to film it, because then it would just be more natural. You wouldn't have to put an effect over it because it's already a laptop.
You're seeing her whole body in it, but she's got crisscross applesauce legs.
Yeah.
That sounded weird.
Maybe she'd be a little bit bigger in frame, but essentially what it is that she's comfortable where she is. Maybe she has some stuff hanging from her bed. You get a sense of what she's living in, how she lives. She'd be able to like move and readjust, because it's her own bedroom. She can like hang out, and it might like shift the camera a bit, like,
So do we see her holding the laptop, or is the laptop...
It's sitting on her bed.
What we're seeing through?
The laptop's what we're seeing through.
Okay, so it's not a shot of her on her laptop. It is a shot as if the laptop is the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little recording dot. There you go.
It could be the moon, and it's a window.
It's a little recording dot.
Right, REC. Not everybody's going to know that. Wow.
And I have a feeling that it would be switching between this. Well, this would be when she's vlogging, but then we could have this same shot when she's researching, the same like layout when she's researching, and then cut to her like hunched over on her laptop on her bed like this. So that's her crisscross applesauce doing research.
You gotta come up with a different term than crisscross applesauce. Sitting cross-legged.
Legged.
Cross-legged.
Cross-legged. Like it would be kind of dark around, because her room is supposed to be dark, right?
Yeah.
Because she's like lonely.
Yeah. One of the shots in here later would be the one where she's recording, but she leaves the frame of the camera.
Yeah, I had that. Mm-hmm. I had that on my laptop. So I had this angle in mind. So she's talking on. This is what I meant by the crisscross applesauce. This is a much better way to see it. What I'm imagining here is she's like preparing for the heist later, right? Mm-hmm. She's like talking to the vlog, and then she slowly ends up talking to herself, and then she kind of forgets that the camera's recording. And so as she's like grabbing her stuff to get out, she bumps her laptop to look like that. And so she'd be walking out this door, and then when she's gone...
From the shadows.
I imagine that like you can see the crinkles of the bed on the side here, that kind of thing.
What's with all the lines?
That was because I couldn't draw anything unless I had some sort of texture beneath it. I can't draw on a completely perfectly pristine white page because I will not be able to come up with anything. I need some sort of texture or something underneath it.
Does this have to do with what you were saying before about needing a busy background?
Yes. It's kind of like that. Some of my best drawings when I was in middle school was actually on graph paper because there was more lines underneath it.
Interesting. Weird. I like a completely blank frame. I don't want any
You're like,
stuff.
Get it all out of the way.
I don't know. It's weird. You would think with all this visual stimulation around me, but eventually I'd like curtains over it so that I don't see it.
Yeah. I love love the visual clutter. It makes me happy.
Gives me stress.
But yeah, that's what I was talking about, where she'd grab something, she'd like adjust the...
I like that. Just sort of knocks it like she didn't know that she did that.
Yeah. So with the college girls routine / introduction,
Yeah.
I was thinking of a scene. It just came to my mind when you brought up the treatment.
So you haven't been sitting on this for months.
No, I just came up with it.
Oh boy.
Which was, her introduction is that she's moving from one side of the frame to the other in different locations. Either from the same direction or from the opposite direction in the next place and in the next place. And then the last one, she'd come back home and then we'd see that time lapse that I was talking about where she goes from bed to desk, desk to bed.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
And these are all fixed cameras. Like, she's moving in the frame, but the camera's staying solid.
So the whole point is that she is doing the moving.
That's getting to, like, an aesthetic choice as to why the angle is what it is. We're using the frame as the confines of her reality. She is kind of stuck in this routine, and so having the camera locked down is conveying that without saying that. I like that, because I had a similar thing, too. I thought about having a fixed angle in the kitchen, where she would bring groceries in, and then the next shot is she brought in her books from school, or I know she goes to online classes, or she'd hang up her coat or whatever, but she'd always be crossing that frame, just so we know that there's a repetition to her life. Even the repetition of the shots is reinforcing the routine.
The whole point is like it's over and over and
Well, I'm
over.
glad you and I had a kind of a similar aesthetic.
My main thing that I'm writing on is that time lapse. I really, really want that time lapse bad.
So would we be showing multiple days?
Yes.
We got to make sure that our actress has multiple changes of clothes. Oh, maybe write that down. So that's time-lapse shot, multiple wardrobe changes. Very good. So now we've got her texting her mom.
Yeah. The texting mom part we didn't have a payoff for, but what we did want to show was that she doesn't really want to talk to her either. She doesn't want to talk to anyone.
So it could be a shot of her phone left unattended.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so let's think about the angle of that. So if she's ignoring it, then maybe a shot from behind her, and we see the phone on the table next to her. And then, text messages would just keep appearing.
So she hears a buzz on her phone, and as all people my age do, we check it. Can't not. And so she sees, oh, it's my mom, but we don't see that it's her mom yet until she sets it down. And then once she sets it down, it's a close-up on where she's put her phone, and then we see it's a text from mom. We cut back to her doing her thing, and we hear more beeps, even though we don't see the phone. And then we get another close-up of the phone with more text messages.
Okay, so how many shots total? Is that 4?
5 shots. Sorry. I'm just gonna put a smiley face even though she's not actually smiling.
Looks like a Pac-Man ghost.
She's looking in 2 different directions, okay? She sees her phone, she goes and reaches for it. This is some sort of desk or something. This is her phone. That's a hand right there.
Is this a different shot, or is this a continuation
Different
of the
shot. Here, I'll put a little tab thing for her laptop. So she puts her phone down, and then she pulls her hand away, and it starts, like, dinging, so this is the same shot. I might be mixing it up a bit, because it's hard when it goes from brain to paper.
How dare you be fully human? The one thing that everyone can relate to is absolute perfection. So, way to mess that up.
This is her.
She's also bald, which I think is a curious artistic
I'm
choice.
not putting her hair down every single time.
Well, my hair is great here. She looks like a sheep.
She looks like Hermione Granger.
Well, that's a plus.
So then we get another shot of her phone where we get to see all the dings come up. And then we hear the same ringtone, and then we get to see that it's her mom.
And she said several
Yeah.
unanswered
Yeah.
text messages.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would just be things like, I love you.
Just
How are
checking in.
you?
Are you okay? Haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Stuff like that. So, online classes, she looks up lock picking and puts it on her list of skill videos to learn from.
Yes. You can have multiple tabs up, as you know, because you're a computer guy. So she could be having
Where's
her...
the music coming from?
You can have
So
part...
is this the computer screen itself?
Yes.
Okay.
We're seeing it over her shoulder because we want to have her involved in whatever is happening.
Okay, so it's not just the computer screen, it's directly behind her.
Yes, the camera is over her shoulder. Zoom is up, and we see a YouTube video is up.
Is it right-hand side, left-hand side?
Right hand side.
Okay. Sometimes you gotta act
positionally. And since the window is practically opposite the door, the way that I'm imagining the room, it will make the camera be more inside of her room, if that makes any sense.
Was this similar to... This is the back of her head, and that's her nose. Pointed toward
Got a very long nose.
It's just a nose to show that that's where it is.
And then we'd see her pull up, I don't know, maybe a Word document or something, and then put the link on there.
Okay, so we're watching her do these things.
Yes, so that way we can see her drag it to
Okay, so computer monitor.
Yeah.
Or unlicensed word processing software, so we don't have to pay for the typing. Generic word processing software. Over the shoulder, looking up, true crime stuff. Alright, no, this is lockpicking stuff.
Lockpicking stuff. In most instances, with her looking up true crime stuff, I imagine we don't actually have to show the screen at all.
Right.
We just show her searching things from different angles, and then we hear different voiceovers that we could do, saying like, and then he didn't make it, or blah 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 blah. Or...
Yeah, I mean, I could see like a very simple camera angle pointed at her, just kind of...
Off to the side.
No, it would be moving. It would go past her like that as she's...
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, actually.
Okay.
But I was thinking that would be happening at the very beginning during the introduction.
Yeah.
It would be right after the time-lapse shot. At first it would be whatever else she's doing, then the time-lapse shot, then her research. I keep on saying shop instead of shot.
It's a tracking shot.
Isn't a tracking shot like following where the head moves?
That's VFX tracking. A tracking move is when the camera is stationary. It's on a track. It's physically on a track as it's going. You know, there's different terms for it, but that's what it is. I was about to get technical, but I decided not to.
Thank you. I wouldn't understand a word anyway.
You're far more complex than you think.
I am, but that does not mean I learn things fast.
So she's got an arrow for her face, but that's as it's going, and then we've just got the audio.
No, she's just unimpressed. Interview and vlog. With the interview, I always imagined it, I'm gonna put it over here, that there's like a lot of open space over here, but she's like in like some sort of suit or something. She's got her hands on her lap, sitting cross-legged, and she's on one of those high chairs, you know, those...
Kind of like the ones at those uncomfortable coffee bars where they don't want you to hang out.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's a question about that. I'm thinking she's pouring her heart out, but there's also the point of view of the person who's filming the interview and what they're going for. What will we decide the motivation is behind the angle that the person who's making the interview would be doing? Are they looking to her as a hero survivor? Are they looking to her as a victim in a tragedy? Are they looking to her as just, this is a clinical, observational interview and here's just the facts, man?
The main focus that I think the interview should have, I don't know necessarily about the interviewer, which is retrospect. Retrospective. That is the main thing. What was it and what do you see now?
Okay. I guess what I was getting at is there's a reason you place the camera. I'm thinking we have multiple choices of what we want to do here, but the ones that I'm looking at is either one that's just a straight observational, which is not that artistic, but it does sort of fit when you're interviewing someone.
Yeah, I want it to feel different than the rest of it.
If you want the angle just to be kind of straight on because it's an interview, as if they're making an interview and they're going to cut together their own thing. This is just the footage of it that we see in our short film.
Yeah.
So I'm just sort of imagining the documentary that they're making or the news piece that they're going for. And so I'm just trying to make this legit. So if the rest of ours has an aesthetic to it, then this one would be it would be lit different.
Yeah, if we have a professional camera in this situation at all, it will be mainly used for that. I want it to aesthetically feel different, to be pulled out of the story. Like that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason why I was like retrospective. Like we're out and we're looking back over it. The reason why I wanted to have this empty space here, I don't know if this is the intention of that shot, but whenever I see those and the person is talking, that empty space is where you're allowed to imagine or think about what they're telling you. And that's
giving you mental space.
Yes, giving you mental space. That's the reason why I wanted always her to be on one side until the very end, where I imagine that there's a bench right in the middle and they both sit on it, and maybe it was mentioned at the very beginning, she said that someone didn't want to be interviewed and it was him, and then later on he's sitting down with them and is like, are you sure you don't want to do the interview? And he's like, nah.
So he's declining.
Yeah.
All right. Encounters each guy separately. First the handsome guy, then the awkward guy, but they don't see each other in the hallway as she goes toward her apartment.
Yes, I imagine that with the groceries.
Okay.
It's a completely ridiculous situation where the exact same thing happened, which is she brings in her groceries and she bumps into handsome guy, and then he helps her pick up the groceries and they have a little talk and chat, and it's very short.
So she's not meeting him outside of class. She's meeting him first in the apartment?
Yes, because all that she has are online classes.
But isn't she going to a real life class?
Later.
I thought that that's where we had in the story where that's where she meets the guy.
I imagined that she has all online classes before her teacher dies.
Yeah.
They're all online. She doesn't even have to leave the room unless she's going for food. And then she goes and gets groceries. She bumps into handsome guy, and they have a little talk. He helps her pick up her stuff. And then the same thing happens with awkward guy. She bumps into him, and she's just like, "Dang it, my eggs," or something like that. Like, all my food is ruined, and he's just like, "You're sorry, let me help you." And then later on, when her teacher dies, she doesn't know her teacher's died. We'll have to emphasize that what happened with that later. That she's just like, "Dang it, now I have to go outside and do outside classes," and then like she's pushed to interact with the other guys more because she's dealing with that.
All right. So I see this as a little more handheld in the hallway, because she's kind of coming up with her groceries. She's not really, it's to show that she's not in control of the frame here. Mm-hmm. She's outside in the outside world. And so it's not like super shaky cam. So
okay.
Not like
all right.
Born Identity or something like that, but it's more like, just loose, like we're able to track a little bit.
Yeah.
You just got your choice. And then you can also do camera angles that telegraph whether or not these people are okay, or whether or not we're just filming this as if that, because I want to be deliberate with what we do. I don't want to just choose an angle because it's easy or, well, that covered the scene. Like there's got to be a reason behind every single one. So, I want it to be a little loose because, like I said, she's out of her element.
I did want it to definitely be shaky camera while they're picking up the stuff from the floor.
Yeah.
Because that's just like, oh, frazzled, oh, frick, I'm a person. But when she's grabbing the groceries, I imagine it's a little bit more kind of static, like the rest of her routine, doing what she's doing, and then it like breaks the routine.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen movies telegraph stuff when a scene ends. Like she comes over the groceries, meet cute with handsome guy as she spills it, and he's got to help her pick it up.
Yeah.
Back and forth. Hee hee ha. Many times not many times, but some of the times I've seen it where there's a higher angle that shows her exiting the frame and then him just staying there watching. We see it like sort of like a God's eye view or something. We as the audience have more information than the main character.
Yeah.
And because it's such a starkly different shot, it makes an imprint on the audience going, okay.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Right.
I was wondering about that because I don't know. I'm still playing around with the idea of how we present him at the beginning because we don't want it to be a surprise, obviously.
Right.
But when we introduce that he's evil also should make a bit of an impact. That's the reason why I had the shot here with him going into...
It's a heck of a password.
You made it.
That's true.
So the reason why I wanted it to like possibly even before the routine, the very first shot that we see him looking and hiding and we don't know why. And so our very first thought is he's hiding from something and he's in danger. But then later on when we have one of the vlogs, then we show him going out of her room, out of the window. And then we go, oh, he's going to do that later for a very different reason than we thought, All
right. I'm still kind of confused, but guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
She's finally outside due to her in-person class. She records her in-person class with an older phone for audio only of classmates gossiping about her.
I have that scene, actually.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave so you can do all the stuff. And
so they're talking. She's still in class, right? She's trying to do her work, but she is actually getting distracted with how much they're talking about her. We got a recording dot. Look at this, the magical recording dot.
I know where we are now.
So she's looking around. This is at her desk. You can see her from the phone's perspective. She grabs it. She slides it under her desk, and we let it sit for a while, and then we can hear what the other girls are saying when you hear her go up and walk away. And then it just immediately cuts to
And that's why I don't trust people.
Yeah, and that's why I don't trust people.
Alright, so then we go to apartment scene of awkward guy attempting to talk with her. If he's awkward and she's uncomfortable, then we should be a little bit closer on him frame-wise. Wider angles give people some breathing room and make them feel settled. Mm-hmm. And closer ones make people feel a little on edge and a little claustrophobic. And so if he's awkward and kind of making her feel uncomfortable, we should probably have it a little closer on him than we did when we were first filming Handsome Guy.
We could also have like a higher up shot as if it's from like a security camera. He's like really, really small in the frame, but comes back and stares, and then he like goes. And so it looks kind of like uncomfortable, like he's trying to watch her or something.
I don't know. I don't see the point of having it be on a security camera. Like, there's got to be a reason why that we care that it's on a security camera and isn't just captured.
The whole point is that you can't see what expression he's making because security cameras have really crappy footage. And so when he's standing here like a freaking weirdo and she's walking off here, he hears her, he sees her, pauses, which is weird, and then he runs over to talk to her. That's a sign that like something isn't right. Later on when we go back and see it, then it'll be rewarding because we realize it's him thinking, okay, I have to tell her. You can kind of see it.
I can see it. Yeah, I'm just thinking of something else.
But yeah, it's supposed to convey something's wrong without there actually being anything wrong.
All right, so we should probably make sure to label these shots so we know what they are. I know that you know what they are, but you die in a tragic hippo accident because a hippo came out of the zoo and ate you in one gulp. And then I'm going to be sitting there going, what did she mean by this? And so if you write in legible handwriting for once.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
If you write in semi-legible handwriting. Gotta show you professional storyboards. You know that I'm not making this stuff up.
No, I don't think you're making this stuff up. It's just that I drew it the way I drew it, and there's not a lot of room, and my handwriting is actually terrible, and I know because I've been doing it for years, and no, it hasn't gotten better, so it's either fast and ugly or pretty and slow.
Look at how beautiful my barely legible capitalized.
Crime undies as...
Okay, fine. That's crime videos, obviously.
Undies.
Underoos? Those are the cartoon underwear?
Listen, man, both of our handwritings are bad, and we're gonna live with it.
They're just differently bad.
Yes, uniquely bad.
This is why I can type.
I prefer typing over this. There was one time where I was drawing. I wrote my character's name underneath the drawing. Somebody came up, looked at the drawing, and said, wow, that's really nice, but who wrote on your drawing? And I'm like, it was me. My handwriting is not my art.
All right, so this meetup here, this is one angle. Are we?
Yeah.
We're shooting the rest of it.
Yeah, that would just be one shot.
Handheldy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then let's get that in our heads, like we're visualizing it. So that scene, she's coming out of her apartment. Are we like following her subjectively, and then boom, she runs into the guy?
I'm thinking that he walked the opposite direction down the hall than when she comes out. So he goes out one direction, she comes out, and then
so we see him in the security camera going out the other direction?
Yeah, so he goes from here to here,
okay.
Then she goes from here to there.
So we see her exit her apartment in this angle.
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know if we were like seeing this angle, he goes out, then we cut to another shot of her getting out of it.
Well, technically I was thinking...
back to... I'm telling you.
I have the thing that you are asking about, I just need to say it. I was imagining two different security camera angles. This was the second one.
Okay.
The other one would be from the other angle, which would be...
Why do I feel like we're going to have to cut these things out?
I'm just doing things, okay?
I just do things. It's like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't have any idea what to do when I get it.
So this is his apartment. Hers is a little further down. He comes out here and he goes this way. Then we see her go out this way. Then we cut to this one where he's gone here at first.
Yeah.
And then he comes around the corner here. And then he comes back. He sees her walking down. She's exited the frame. He's sat there or stood there for a few seconds, and then he runs towards her.
Well, I mean, is he chasing her down the hall?